Imagine you are sitting at a dinner table in one of Manhattan's most iconic steakhouses, Smith & Wollensky. In front of you is a succulent steak, a side of fries, and a cherry Coke. The cost of this meal on the menu? About $100. But the actual cost to be sitting in that specific chair, talking to the man across from you, just broke a world record of $19 million. This isn't a scene from a fictional movie about Wall Street. It is the reality of Warren Buffett's annual power lunch. Why would anyone in their right mind pay the value of a private island, a fleet of luxury jets, or a mansion in Monaco to spend just 3 hours talking to a 95-year-old gentleman while eating grilled meat? Today, we dive into the most fascinating and exclusive auction in the financial world to understand what is truly being sold. Spoiler: it's not the food, and it's not just networking. It is raw, direct access to the most brilliant mind of modern capitalism. And the detail that makes this even more unbelievable: Warren Buffett doesn't keep a single cent of this astronomical amount. Get ready, because what happens at this table will change your perception of the value of knowledge. Before we reveal the secrets discussed in this meeting and where every penny of those 19 million goes, I want to give you a challenge. If you had only one question to ask the greatest investor of all time, no filters, what would it be? Write it now in the comments. Buffett's answers to simple questions have saved entire fortunes. If you want to invest in your greatest asset, your own mind, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. This is episode 7 of our journey through the legacy of the Oracle of Omaha. It all started in the year 2000, and it wasn't born from Warren's mind, but from his late wife, Susan Buffett. Susie, as she was affectionately called, was Warren's moral compass. She was deeply connected to the Glide Foundation, an organization that works in the darkest areas of San Francisco, helping the homeless, addicts, and families in extreme poverty. In the first year, the auction was modest, raising only $25,000. For most people, that would already be a philanthropic victory. But as Buffett's legend solidified as the greatest investor in history, the value of his hour became the scarcest and most desired asset in the market. What was a small charity event transformed into a battleground for New York hedge fund managers, Singaporean tycoons, and young Silicon Valley geniuses. Warren Buffett realized that his personal brand was a lever. He decided to use the ego and the thirst for knowledge of the ultra-rich to fund the survival of the ultra-poor. This is the ultimate application of the influence multiplier effect. Many ask, what do they talk about for $19 million? The contract is simple but strict. You can ask anything, except what stocks Berkshire Hathaway is currently investing in. Buffett refuses to give hot tips. Instead, he offers something infinitely more powerful: mental models and life philosophy. Those who have won the auction report that Buffett doesn't spend time analyzing price charts or volatile macroeconomic indicators. He talks about the importance of unwavering integrity, how to identify an economic moat that protects a company from competitors, and above all, how to stay calm when the whole world is in a panic. For the winners, Buffett acts as a mirror of rationality. They don't pay for the steak. They pay to calibrate their own mental compass with that of the man who has never lost his way in 7 decades of market activity. For the average citizen, paying $19 million for a lunch is insanity. But in the world of high finance, this is categorized as proximity investment. At the top of the pyramid, information is abundant, but wisdom is an absolute rarity. Consider the concept of ROI, return on investment. If a single piece of advice from Buffett, a short sentence on how he evaluates a company's management, prevents a billionaire from making a $500 million strategic mistake in a merger, The $19 million lunch was actually a bargain. Warren is the master of simplification. He removes the market noise and delivers the essence. For a fund manager controlling billions of dollars of other people's money, being by Buffett's side is the ultimate validation and the opportunity to absorb a worldview that no computer algorithm can replicate. What makes this story truly noble is the destination of the money. The Glide Foundation is not a front for tax reduction. It is an institution that works in the eye of the storm. They serve over 750,000 meals a year and provide health testing, shelter, and job training programs. Buffett insists that 100% of the gross auction value goes directly to Glide. He doesn't deduct expenses. He doesn't ask for image credits. This teaches us about the social responsibility of capital. Warren believes in the genetic lottery. He knows he was born with a specific talent for allocating capital that the market rewards generously. Therefore, he sees it as his moral obligation to return that reward to those who weren't as lucky at the start of life. He doesn't just donate money, he donates his most precious and non-renewable resource: his time. Not all winners were just looking for wisdom. Some were looking to prove their worth. The most famous case is that of Ted Weschler. He won the auction 2 years in a row, paying a total of more than $5 million. Ted didn't just want a fanboy over his idol. He used those 3 hours to demonstrate his own investment logic and analytical capacity. Buffett was so impressed by Weschler's mental sharpness that months later, he invited him for a real job interview. Today, Ted Weschler is one of the lead investment managers at Berkshire Hathaway, managing tens of billions of dollars. The auction was the most expensive job interview in history, but also the most lucrative. This shows that when you have the chance to stand before a giant, your preparation must be obsessive. Ted didn't pay to listen. He paid to be heard, and it changed his trajectory forever. You might be thinking, this is interesting, but I'll never have $19 million to have lunch with him. But here is the brutal truth. Warren Buffett has already given us this lunch for free, over and over again. Through his annual letters to shareholders, which are true masterclasses in finance and ethics, and his hundreds of recorded interviews, he distributes exactly the same wisdom he shares at Smith & Wollensky. The fundamental difference is the psychology of execution. The auction winner pays absolute attention to every syllable because the cost was astronomical. The average investor ignores the advice because it was delivered for free and is easily accessible. Buffett teaches us that the value of information is determined by the respect you give it. If you want to succeed, start treating the free knowledge Buffett provides with the same rigor and seriousness you would if you had signed a $19 million check. Real wealth begins in the discipline of how you process information. In 2022, Warren Buffett held what was announced as the final power lunch. The final price of $19,100 set a record that is unlikely to be broken. Over 21 years, the event raised more than $53 million for the Glide Foundation. Why stop now? At 95, Buffett is in a phase of consolidating his legacy. He is focusing on his larger philanthropic mission, the Giving Pledge, where he promised to donate more than 99% of his fortune. The closing of the auction marks Buffett's transition from an active market player to a historical figure. He no longer needs to sell his time for charity. His name is already synonymous with generosity. The auction wasn't about the stake. It was about validating a cause. The fact that an anonymous investor paid $19 million in the final year is a testament that the market recognizes Buffett's wisdom as the holy grail of finance. The greatest lesson from this auction isn't about the bank balance, but about purpose. Buffett could have charged millions for private consultations for governments or corporations, but he chose to dedicate those hours to feeding the hungry. He proves that financial success without a social purpose is an incomplete equation. He challenges us to look at our own resources. If the richest man in the world understands that his time is best spent helping those who can give him nothing in return, why are we still so stingy with our attention and our resources? Buffett's true wealth isn't in the Apple or Coca-Cola shares he owns, but in the number of lives that were transformed because of a simple idea his wife had 26 years ago. Warren Buffett ends his journey of auctions as he began. With simplicity, he still prefers the steak and the cherry Coke. He shows us that happiness doesn't increase proportionally to the cost of the meal, but rather to the impact that meal generates in the world. The $19 million lunch is, in fact, the greatest economics lesson in history. The price is what you pay, but the value is the good you do. If you've made it this far, you've already received your share of this wisdom without needing to spend millions. The question now is what you will do with that knowledge. Will you keep it locked away? Or will you apply it to your life and investments with the same seriousness as an auction winner? Warren Buffett transformed a simple lunch into a monument to charity. In the next video in our series, we will analyze Berkshire Hathaway's secret cash strategy for 2026. Buffett is holding billions in cold, hard cash. Is he predicting the greatest collapse in history, or just waiting for the right moment to buy the world again? If this episode opened your mind to the true value of time and generosity, leave a like, comment, wisdom, and subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. Remember, the best investment is the one that brings a return to you and the world around you. Until the next story of value.